We're staying in the United Kingdom, where Queen Elizabeth II has been laid to rest. That's according to the royal family. She was buried following a private ceremony in Windsor. A statement on their website said she was buried together with the Duke of Edinburgh at the King George VI Memorial Chapel. The burial ceremony was attended by her close family. Earlier, the committal service for the Queen took place at the St. George Chapel in Windsor. During the ceremony, King Charles III placed the Queen's company camp colour on his late mother's coffin. In another ceremonial moment, the Lord Chamberlain broke his wand of office and placed it on the Queen's coffin, symbolizing the end of the Queen's reign. The Queen's coffin was then lowered into the royal vault in St. George's Chapel. The United Kingdom for 7 decades was such a long-standing institution that won't be easy to forget. In this report, we take a look at key events that shaped her reign.
Princess Elizabeth and her husband, Prince Philip, were in Kenya on the 8th of February 1952, but their visit was cut short as the death of King George VI broke. The king died of lung cancer at the age of 56. His 25-year-old daughter became the 6th woman in history to ascend to the British throne. Crowned in a grand ceremony, Queen Elizabeth's coronation was the first to be broadcast live on television. That year, she took a tour of the Commonwealth, visiting places including Bermuda, Fiji, Tonga, Australia, and Gibraltar. In 1965, the Queen embarked on a 10-day visit to the Federal Republic of Germany, and that was the first official visit by a British royal since 1913. During a royal tour of Australia and New Zealand with Prince Philip and Princess Anne in 1970, Her Majesty took a casual stroll to greet crowds of people in person rather than wave to them from a protected distance. On June 7, 1977, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip rode in the Gold State coach from Buckingham Palace to St. Paul's Cathedral to officially celebrate a 25th year on the throne. Then in July of 1981, an estimated 750 million people in 74 countries around the world tuned in to watch Prince Charles marry Lady Diana Spencer at St. Paul's Cathedral. A few years later, Queen Elizabeth visited the Chinese mainland in 1986, touring the Terracotta Warriors in Xi'an, the Great Wall in Beijing, and other sites. She was the first British monarch that visited that country. In 1992, 3 of the Queen's 4 children separated from their spouses, and later that year, a fire broke out in Windsor Castle, destroying more than 100 rooms. In a speech delivered to mark the 40th anniversary of her succession, Queen Elizabeth remarked that 1992 has turned out to be a horrible year. Public criticism of the royal family grew more intense after Charles and Diana's divorce in 1996, and especially after Diana's death in a car crash in Paris the following summer. The Queen initially remained at her estate in Balmoral and refused to allow the flag to fly at half-mast over Buckingham Palace or address the grieving nation. At the urging of her advisors, she soon revised a stance on the flag, returned to London to greet crowds of mourners, and deliver the rare televised address to the nation. The Queen's celebration of her 50th year on the throne was marred by a double loss. A younger sister, Princess Margaret, and their mother died within weeks. As the first British monarch since Queen Victoria to celebrate a Golden Jubilee, Queen Elizabeth travelled more than 40,000 miles that year. She also visited 70 cities and towns in 50 counties in the United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth became the longest living British monarch, overtaking Queen Victoria in December 2007. In May 2011, Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip visited the Republic of Ireland at the invitation of President Mary McAleese. Though the Queen had frequently visited Northern Ireland over the course of her reign, this was a first to the Republic of Ireland and the first by a British monarch in 100 years. Perhaps no other event during Queen Elizabeth II's reign symbolizes the modern monarchy more than the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, a biracial American actress. On April 9, 2021, Queen Elizabeth's husband of 73 years died at the age of 99. In February 2022, England began a series of celebrations marking Queen Elizabeth II's 70 years on the throne. On June 2nd, a military parade featuring 1,400 troops in bearskin caps, musicians and 240 horses, a Royal Air Force flyover, and an 82-gun salute were staged to honor the 96-year-old monarch, whose birthday was on the 21st of April. On the 8th of September, doctors raised concerns over the Queen's health. Buckingham Palace stated later that day that Queen Elizabeth II died peacefully at a Scottish residence in Balmoral. The monarch had received the newly elected British Prime Minister Liz Truss 2 days earlier. Now King Charles III's era begins as his mother is finally laid to rest.